Barbies want to collect their own Barbies or fashion dolls but can't find any in their local stores? Well, that's okay because I'm going to show you how you can make them some. Here's what you'll need. Some doll packaging with cute designs on it and pictures of the dolls on the back. For the designed paper, you can also use scrapbook paper, but it'll work best if the paper is of cardstock thickness. You need clear tape and some sort of glue. Now, I'm lazy, so my choice of glue is always hot glue gun. But if you choose to use this, be careful not to hurt yourself and ask an adult for help if you're a child. You need some writing utensils for tracing and probably a Sharpie or something to write on plastic packaging with. Try to use a light color if possible. You'll also need a straight edge and scissors or a razor if you like that better. First, let's take a look at the dolls on the packaging. They're about 2 inches in height, the perfect size for our dolls. Now, if you don't have boxes with these small images of dolls on the back, just print some out using your favorite Google doll images or take pictures of your actual dolls and print those out. Now you need to cut these images out, getting as close to the doll's outline as you can. You don't have to be exact. It's okay if some of the background is there because it won't be noticeable. Now, get a piece of cardstock and make a rectangle around your doll. This is going to be your template or pattern that'll help you to build your box. You can use many sizes as long as your dolls can fit inside the borders. We need a front for the backing inside the box and a back for the outside of the box. Once you have those, go ahead and grab some cardstock or scrapbook paper to make the sides of the box. You're gonna want something thicker than regular printer paper for strength, but use whatever you happen to have on hand just to experiment with your first boxes. You can get better paper later if you want to. Now, we're gonna trace around your template and create tabs that will become the sides of the box. Make straight lines and try to eyeball how thick you want the bottom of the box to turn out. If your tabs are too narrow, the box will not stand up well. And if they are too big, the box will be bulky and it won't look realistic. Once you have your rectangle grid finished, cut it out, and remember, you don't have to have exact measurements for this project. Just be sure the pieces can fit into each other properly. It might take you a few tries to get it right, but that's okay. What you want to pay attention to is that the top and the bottom tabs are close in size and that the two side tabs are also the same size. Now, fold the sides so that the part you want visible on the outside is facing the right direction. You have to cut the tabs now, but make sure you don't accidentally cut them off totally. You need to be able to fold the tabs in and glue them down. If the tabs are thinner than your side edges, either fold the edges down over it or cut them off so that they are the right width. Now, I'm making sure that the backing can fit properly inside this box. Also, if you do cut off the tabs by accident, that's fixable. Just close the sides up with clear tape and no one will be able to tell you made a mistake. Alright, now we're going to glue these parts down so we have a rectangular box. If you need to trim your edges, do so now. You only need small dabs of glue to get the tabs glued down right. I recommend some good Elmer's paste for gluing paper quickly. I hate waiting for glue to dry, and that's why I always use hot glue. Now, let's make sure the box can stand on its own. Mine is working. If yours doesn't, that's okay. I will show you a way to fix that later too. Now, you're going to glue your backing in place. If you already like the design of your box without the backing, that's alright. You can leave it just the way it is. But I'm going to put my image on the back because I think it looks more like a doll box this way. They always have pictures of dolls on the backs of the boxes, so I want to duplicate that look. Now, your basic foundation for your box is finished. You need to figure out which doll to put inside. You might want to put more than one doll, so it can be like a gift set. If your box is big enough to fit them, that is. Maybe if you print out or use cutouts of small play sets, you could actually glue that inside the box with your doll and it'll look as if she's coming with a play set. Also, you can use tiny pictures of accessories and glue those into the backing to make it look like they're coming with some extra stuff. I just want to make a simple fashionista style doll, so I will just put one doll in per box for now. You now need to use clear tape. Roll up a small piece so you can hide it behind your doll. You need to place her in your box so she won't fall out, but don't press her in so much that she looks flat. The trick here is to use the tape to create the illusion of a 3D doll so she doesn't appear to be a flat paper doll once the project is done. If you're using a printed image of a doll, be sure to paste her on another sheet of paper or cardstock to make her sturdier before you do this step. Okay, now my doll is in a box and she needs some wording to function as the label. Again, you can use logos cut out from the doll boxes like this fashionista sign that I used. Glue it in the box just the way I did. If you don't want to make a Barbie, just use another brand that you like, or create your very own by printing a small label on your computer or just drawing something out on a piece of paper and decorating it. It just has to be small enough to fit inside the doll's box. A great place to look for wording and labeling is also in magazines. So if you have some old magazines, cut those up and see if you find something in there you want to use as a label for your doll brand. I need to give a quick shout out to my subscriber Suzanne Pickup, who asked me about a miniature boxed doll she saw in our Broken Barbie episode 5. I told her I would make a tutorial on how I made this doll, so this is for you, homie. Now, I'm done with this step and she is missing her plastic window in the front of her box. She can't be sold in stores if she isn't properly packed up. This is where your light marker comes in. Trace a rectangle around the box of your doll. You don't want to get too close to the box because you need leeway to cut off the colored marker lines, so the line should be a little bigger than the actual box that you're tracing around. If you're good at eyeballing, cut a big square out and hold your box up to it. Then cut out the shape without the marker lines. Okay, now you have to trim the edges. This is why we need a light color to trace, in case you don't trim off all of it, and this way, if any of it shows, it won't be too visible once you are done. It's always better to cut too big than too small, because you can trim it if you need to. So now, I'm going to trim my plastic down more and we have to attach it to our box. Take a piece of clear tape that's longer than the edges you are working with. I only want a small bit of the edge of the tape to be attached to the plastic part. If you use too much, it'll look bad in the front of the box. Now, you're pretty much going to laminate the side of the box with the rest of the tape. Remove the extra bits if you want, or just fold it down to make sure that it's more secure. Now, you're going to do the same thing on the other 3 edges. While you're working, remember, this is not a permanent way to attach the plastic packaging. This is so that you can later remove your dolls or replace them with other things if you decide to. Now that we have done that, I'll show you a way to hide the tape on the edges of the plastic screen if you are a perfectionist and you don't want to see the tape. Take a small slice of scrapbooking paper and make a border around the front. You can use glue to attach it, or you can use some kind of fancy tape and use that as your frame. I'm lazy, so I really don't care because you can't see it. So I didn't do that, but if you want to do it, it's totally up to you. This other box has plastic on the sides, but it's a little bit more advanced way to make it, so I'm showing you guys this easier way to do it. If you make your bottom crooked and the doll doesn't stand up properly on their own, all you need to do is put a piece of rolled tape under the bottom and stick it down to the surface and it'll still work. Or you can take some tape and place it on the back of the unfinished box like this one and have it leaning on the wall of a shelf to keep it secure on the surface she's being displayed on. This is a simple craft and it's really fun to make. Now my dolls can have their own doll collection. In fact, they can have dolls that I don't even have yet. You can do the same thing by using images of other toys too. Now this is a method that I developed and I don't know if other people have made their own versions of this, but you saw it here first on Broken Barbie TV. I hope you enjoyed this craft. Alright, I'm Gypsy and that's it for now. Subscribe and check out our other cool doll videos and watch Broken Barbie Show, which is our animated doll series featuring my private collection of dolls and my repainted dolls. Before I go, shout out to my homegirl Seasonal Frostbite on YouTube. Take a look at her awesome channel where she gets mad scientific on ya and does some terrific custom work on her dolls. She also has some insane doll crafts you do not want to miss out on. Alright then, have a dolly day.